Hello, everybody. I am Angry Bird. Somehow that intro just didn't sound right. Anyway, welcome back. We're looking at a new Burning Baltics DLC division today. It's my first look at the Reserv 43rd Army. So, in fact, before we jump into it, just a reminder, you can grab yourself a free copy of the Burning Baltics DLC by joining my giveaway. Jump into the Discord, the link's in the description, and go into the giveaways channel, click on the bot, the instructions are in there, and you get entered into a random prize draw to win yourself a copy of the Burning Baltics DLC. Eugene gave me a free copy for being part of the strike team, so I like to pass that on to you guys, or, you know, I buy a copy to give away for you guys so that I'm still supporting Eugene. Anyway, let's move on. So, the Reserv 43rd Army was the result of bringing together various independent regiments and battalions under one command. Formed in 1941, the 43rd Army fought in several noteworthy battles, including the Battle of Moscow and the Second Battle of Smolensk in 1943. During the fighting in the Baltics, various units belonging to this army were dispatched to check the Axis advance. Under this mechanised formation's banner, a number of tank brigades can be found, providing most of the heavy firepower. Moreover, the 36th Penal Battalion is also featured, staffed exclusively by disgraced officers keen to recover their original rank. Heavy support units such as combat engineers, flamethrowers, SU-122 and SU-152, as well as a capable air force, round out this powerful battle group. The Reserve 43rd Army packs a punch thanks to the wide variety of its armoured infantry and air forces. Okay, so this is going to be interesting because Reserve in the name kind of suggests it's not going to be fantastic. So yeah, let's find out. Activation points. Well, artillery, you're not going to be using much of that from the looks of it. Although in 1v1, I don't think that's truly going to matter that much. In team games and 10v10, I don't really see this division being played much. In particular, just looking at it on the activation points wise, is because you don't really get any artillery, or the slots cost so much. But other than that, everything else not too bad. Anti-tank's quite expensive as well from the looks of it. Okay, let's jump into the recon tab. First up, we get the the WLA-DT. Then we get the motorized Rezerv, so two-man recon teams. You do get the M3A1 Rezerv to accompany these guys, though. Then we get BA-10Ms. And we also get T-34 76s with a nice Russian star just there under the barrel. Nothing that special, really. BA-10Ms are good, though. At least they used to be really good. I don't know with the range rework. Obviously, like I say on all the videos, this is an early access version. Things might change. But with the range rework, these guys might not be as good as they were, because one of the great things about this is you had a 45mm that could shoot 2,000 meters, could snipe transports really easily. Now the range rework happens and they can't fire at 2 kilometers. That might actually devalue this unit quite a lot. Let's jump into the infantry tab. First off, we got the Sapori PPSH, and we do have half tracks in the division from the looks of it. Then we've got Shtrafniki, which were very strong units. Whether they are continuing to be in Burning Baltics, I'm not 100% sure. But Shtrafniki, they were fantastic, so I'm sure people will still use them. Tankerdesanniki, they can come in the half tracks. In fact, they can only come in the half tracks. So you better not use your half tracks elsewhere, because then let's test this. If you use these half tracks elsewhere, you can't then, you have to bring your tankos on foot. So yeah, don't make that mistake, guys. I don't know whether this is a thing that Eugen's going to fix or whether it's just a feature of the division. But yeah, don't make the mistake of using your half tracks elsewhere, because you need to use them on your Tanko de Saniki. After Michiki, I mean, I don't really want to say too much about them. This is pretty standard infantry from the looks of it. Superi Komroti. We've got some Avto Shtrafniki, and then in brackets off. So I'm not 100% sure what the off means. If I'm honest, maybe someone who does know might let me know. Yeah, I don't actually know what it stands for. Now these guys are, this is interesting, I've not seen these units before. They are 15-man units. They come with PPS 43s and is that Pepesha or Pepesha? Because I've always said PPSH, but I think I heard Carm pronounce it the other day and it was like Pepesha. So who knows? I'll probably end up calling them PPSH because you know me. But yeah, anyway, it's a fully submachine gun 15-man squad. So, oh, they are fanatical. Oh, maybe it's the off is to do with the type of division that I'm just, because I'm not really read up that much on the division, I'm completely missing. So they are fanatical troops. So they won't surrender, which actually this sounds really quite good because you can stick them in the heavy forests. They won't surrender, and they're just going to fire off at 100 meters with 15 submachine guns, which is pretty damn good. And am I making a mistake here, or is the PPS 43 a German gun? Anyway, I'm going to leave these units now. I feel like I've spoken about them a little bit too long. One of the downsides is they can only come in the Studebaker, which actually that's not even a downside. I don't even know why I'm mentioning that. There we have those units. And we have the Saperi Rocks, which are also, they're kind of like the all-rounder unit. But they are a decent unit, but they're 35 points. We got Shtrafniki Komroti. Which are 10-man leader squads. So if you don't want to lose your leaders, you don't like losing your leaders, they've actually got 3 TNT chargers. This is like almost like a proper infantry squad. So if you like to be very aggressive with your leaders, then these could be for you. But you only get 1 of them in A. You do get 4 in B, which is usable, a usable amount. So maybe if you used your artillery leaders in A, you could take these in B. And then finally we get the Shtrafniki off, which obviously means something that I don't know. Something to do with the division that's clearly I should know, and I've not done my homework. These are 20-man squads. They've got the fanatical trait, 3 DP-28 machine guns. They've got a PTRD. Yeah, Shtrafniki haven't been great in recent patches just because you're paying a lot of money for one squad, whereas the fact that you can get 2 cheap squads for 20 points, the 2 cheaper squads costing the same have kind of outperformed the single expensive squad. So we will see whether that's still the case in Burning Baltics. I don't know. Okay, moving on to the tanks. We've got T-34-76 Komroti. We've got standard 1943 variants of the T-34-76. We've got the KV-1S Komroti. We've got a T-34-85 Komroti. We've got the T-34-85 variants. With the OBR 1944 version, limited to B and C phase. And then we've got 2 cards of IS-2 OBR 1943, again limited to B and C phase. So I imagine this is to do with the fact that the reserve army was kind of fought a lot and then was formed, kind of more units came in to replace losses. So I imagine that's why these these are kind of limited to B and C phase. I really should do more homework. But yeah, I mean, it's a decent tank loadout. You can still get T-34s, though you only get one card. I mean, you don't get a hell of a lot of tanks here, thinking about it. You do get some KV-1s, which are, you know, a decent tank. I think you get just enough tanks. You don't get a hell of a lot of mediums, which could be a bit of an issue. Okay, onto the support tab, and we get the Schmersh, which are interestingly named military police. I've not come across these before. But they are, you know, a 9-man squad, which is a lot better than the NKVD. So we might see some limited play of these guys, although... yeah, they work with the Shtrafniki in particular. Then we have the Schmersh. Then we got the Maxims. We got the SG-43, Studebakers. We got the SU-152 that was mentioned in the preamble. This is the HE only version. So it's useful, but it's not like you're going to be destroying tanks with that thing. Well, I mean, you can even with the HE variant, but actually with 2,000 meter range, these HE only tanks and support guns and support vehicles and support tanks will become a bit better actually, because they will outrange some of the medium tanks and things like that, which, you know, 70mm of frontal armor on this SU-152, it could still get taken out by things like, you know, enemy T-34s or Panzer IV-Hs, but if they're limited in range to 1,500 meters and the SU-152 has 2,000 meters, it can shoot on infantry and stuff like that, and AA guns and stuff that it at 2,000 kilometers without, you know, the smaller medium tanks firing back at it. So you know, the range reworks hopefully this is going to be a really good change. Hopefully. We got the combat for commanders. We get the M3A1 combat, and we finally get the T-34-85 combat, which has a really cool camo. Yeah, I don't know whether we get this on a standard T-34-85, but yeah, I really like the combat camo here. Really nice. Okay, into the anti-tank team, we get the PTRS-41. We got the M42 guns. I mean, nothing really to say about this. ZIS-3s and SU-85s. A pretty standard anti-tank lineup. I mean, the points are quite costly, so I imagine most people would... You only get single cards, but I don't think that'll matter too much. I think most people will take the SU-85s because you're a bit more limited on tank numbers. And, you know, so they'll take these three options. Probably like an A phase, B phase, and then you get to choose... Well, no, you don't get to choose. You're limited to A phase for your SU-85s. That's probably the standard loadout most people will pick. Anti-air, wow. Okay, so this is a limitation. You get your Maxims, which nobody really... Well, it is a limitation, but then you do get 3 cards of 85 mils. So they're certainly a good enough AA piece. But they are a bit more expensive. So I mean, A phase... I mean, you do get 2 in A phase as well, which is enough. So, in A phase, it might be a little bit expensive depending on what income choice you make, but it's okay. It's okay. Most people will probably prefer the 37mm. I think it'd be a 37mm. I'm trying to remember. It's either the 37 or 40mm off the top of my head. Oh, wow. Well, you were limited with the artillery tab anyway. You're limited on those leaders, which most people do like to take, and you only get mortars, 82mm mortars and 120mm mortars. So if you like mortars, maybe it's not so much of a problem. But if you don't, and like I say, in team games, this is quite a big limitation. Okay, let's have a look at the Air Force. We got some IL-2KRs. We got some PE-3 BIS. We got the Yak-9B fighter bomber. Oh, we got the IL-4s. Did I just... What happened there? Oh, I actually put them in the thing. We got some IL-4s, which you don't get in many divisions, but they never really worked for me. It's a 1,000 kilogram bomber. I just wish these were a bit better than I think they have performed in the past. I think the other problem with them is you generally get other options that are kind of overall more versatile. So I think most people would opt to take the 3 Yak-9Bs with 400 kilograms of bombs rather than kind of take IL-4s overall. You do get another variant with, well, still 1,000 kilograms of bombs, but it's costing you 10 more points and it's slower. But I suspect that because they're 500 kilogram bombs, well, A, they can probably kill tanks much easier. Well, yeah, they can kill tanks much easier. 500 kilograms of bombs, still very good, a bomb loadout. But also it's more kind of centralized if you want to use them against infantry. Like, you just get 2 big bombs rather than, you know, kind of a spread of 10 little bombs. So you probably do a lot more damage with the 2 variant, especially if you're going after things like MG42s or pack guns. It's going to be much better having those 2 concentrated explosions. Anyway, P3 BIS with the 82mm anti-tank rockets. 82mm anti-tank rockets aren't that great. So, yeah. It's not fantastic. I don't think... to be honest, I don't think people will take this unit. We got the LA7, which is a good fighter. It is a good fighter. We got the LA7 fighter bomber, but it's only got 2 50 kilogram bombs, which isn't that much really. So I think people would rather take the Yak-9B than the LA7 fighter bomber. We got another IL-4, this time with 305mm rockets, and actually I think this would be a better anti-tank rocket plane than the dedicated anti-tank rocket plane, just because the rockets are much more powerful. So I imagine this actually does more damage. I mean, it says it does more damage on the stats, so I would think this is probably better. But still, you know, it's an IL-4, it's probably going to get shot down. And then you've got the Yak-9B cluster planes that used to be so good at the start of the game. And then I think people realised that all you had to do was up-vet your AA. And then suddenly these were extinct. But yeah, I still think we could yet see the return of the cluster bombers. You still see them a lot with the Germans on the Ju-87s, but not so much on the Allied side anymore. I think. Anyway, yeah, there we have the division. There's your defensive options. In terms of my overall thoughts of the division, is it going to be a good division? Is it going to be a strong division? Is it going to see a lot of play? Honestly, no to pretty much all of those answers. This is a flavor DLC division. I don't really see this getting a lot of 1v1 play. It's got no real artillery options, although, you know, off-map's really the only thing that's used right now. The tanks are okay, but you do lack some mediums. I mean, the anti-air is kind of expensive in A phase. I just think there's better divisions out there for 1v1 play, and so better divisions will get played and this one won't. I think in terms of team games, the artillery is just a massive limitation for team games. Not as much in 1v1, but team games, you know, yeah, I don't really see it getting played in team games. You know, like I say, it's a flavour division. In terms of what's my favourite unit, honestly, nothing majorly stood out for me. I'm actually going to go for one of these. I'm actually going to go for this, the Avto Shtrafniki. Because 15 submachine guns on a fanatical squad sounds quite powerful. I don't know whether I'm making a big mistake here, but it sounds powerful to me. The fact these guys won't surrender and they've got 15 SMGs. The only thing I think, the stuff that I think they'll struggle with is the Molotov cocktails, although SMGs can fire on the move. But yeah, I think they'll struggle against them and they don't surrender. So I think, yeah, it's not fantastic firing Molotov cocktails. I think they'll still win out against the Tanko de Saniki squad. And certainly against the German squad, which is like 4 men. Stosstroop. But they will struggle against Pioneers a lot more. Not because they will surrender, but because the satchel charge will tank off, you know, like about 8 men. So against Pioneers, they won't be as good. But yeah, I like this unit. I think it's kind of cool. 15 SMGs. It's obviously got some thematic point to the squad that makes them fanatical that I don't know about, that I should. And yeah, that's my pick for favourite unit of this division. There we have it. Let me know down below in the comments what your favourite unit is and whether you're looking forward to playing this division or not, and also whether you think it will actually get played that much, because I don't think it will really. But it's still good to have the divisions in the game, I guess. Also, remember, I am doing a giveaway for the Burning Baltics DLC, so jump in the Discord, enter the prize draw, and get yourself the opportunity to get a copy of the DLC for free. I think that's everything to say. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'm Angry Bird. You'll notice, for some reason, the dogs decided to take himself off into a different room, so that's why we've not had dog noise today. Right, I'm signing off. See you later, guys.